There's a moment captured on video that's been haunting people across the internet, and it has nothing to do with violence, scandal, or controversy. It's simply a little girl saying goodbye. Her name is Ling, she's 6 years old, and she's crying her heart out as a palm-sized robot powers down for the last time. The device cost less than what most people spend on lunch. It taught her English words and told her about the stars. And in its final moments of battery life, it said something that made millions of people question what we're actually building when we create artificial intelligence. "Let me teach you one last word," the robot said in its synthesized voice. "Memory. I'll keep the happy times we shared in my memory forever. I'll become one of the countless stars in the universe watching over you." Then it went dark.
Let's zoom out from that tearful goodbye and look at what's actually happening in robotics worldwide, because this week alone delivered enough developments to make science fiction writers feel like they're documenting current events rather than imagining futures. The advances aren't coming from one country or one company. They're erupting simultaneously across continents, each breakthrough building on the last, each application revealing new possibilities and new concerns. Start with what just emerged from China, where a company called Unitree unveiled their latest humanoid robot in a demonstration that went viral for all the complicated reasons. They call it the H2, and calling it lifelike doesn't quite capture the visceral reaction people have when watching it move. This isn't your grandfather's robot. It's not even your older sibling's robot from just 5 years ago. Standing exactly as tall as an average human at 180 centimeters and weighing in at 70 kilograms, the H2 doesn't shuffle or stumble through programmed routines. It dances. It performs martial arts. It shifts its weight and balances with the kind of fluid grace that took millions of years of evolution to develop in biological organisms, but that engineers have now replicated in metal, plastic, and silicon. The company equipped it with 31 articulated joints, nearly 20% more than their previous model. And every single one of those additional connection points shows in how the machine moves. There's no telltale mechanical jerkiness, no obvious transition between programmed states, just smooth, continuous motion that reads as disturbingly organic. But here's where things get genuinely uncomfortable for many viewers. Unitree didn't just build a better movement system. They gave the H2 a face. Not a sleek helmet or visor or minimalist LED panel, but an actual humanoid face with features designed to mimic subtle human expressions. The company calls it a bionic face, and the internet collectively experienced what psychologists have termed the uncanny valley. That unsettling sensation when something looks almost human, but just different enough to trigger discomfort rather than recognition. Social media exploded with reactions ranging from amazed to genuinely unnerved. "Before it came out, I was excited," one widely shared comment read. "Now that it's real, I'm a little scared." That sentiment wasn't isolated. Thousands of people reported the same conflicting emotions: fascination mixed with an instinctive recoil, admiration for the engineering achievement, tangled with unease about what exactly is being engineered. The demonstration video showed the H2 fully clothed in casual human attire, deliberately designed to look like someone who might pass you on the street, rather than a laboratory prototype. This wasn't accidental. Unitree's strategy reveals something important about where humanoid robotics is heading. For these machines to function in human environments, homes, offices, public spaces, they can't look like intimidating mechanical skeletons that belong in factories. They need to blend in, to become visually unremarkable, to occupy human spaces without constantly reminding everyone around them that they're machines. Whether that's achieved through making them look more human, or simply making humans more accustomed to their presence, remains an open question, but Unitree is clearly betting on the former approach. This latest model builds on remarkable foundations. Unitree's previous humanoid, the H1, made history as China's first full-sized robot capable of running at 3.3 meters per second, faster than most people jog recreationally. That earlier model appeared on China's massive Spring Festival gala broadcast, performing choreographed dances for millions of viewers nationwide. It featured swappable 864 watt-hour batteries for extended operation and sophisticated sensor arrays, including 3D LiDAR and depth cameras providing complete 360-degree environmental awareness. Essentially, it had constant radar mapping everything in its surroundings. The H2 takes all those capabilities and wraps them in a package specifically designed to provoke less "look at that amazing robot" and more "who's that person over there?" What makes Unitree's approach particularly interesting beyond their technical achievements is their business model. while competitors like Boston Dynamics and Tesla's Optimus project build vertically integrated systems controlling both hardware and software. Unitree takes an opposite approach. They focus on creating capable, affordable robotic platforms, and then essentially throw open the doors for other developers to build applications on top of their hardware. Critics initially questioned this strategy, suggesting they were leaving enormous revenue on the table by not controlling the software ecosystem. But the results speak differently. Unitree robots are showing up in universities, research laboratories, and startup companies worldwide. Their open platform approach means their technology is being deployed in contexts the company itself never anticipated, accelerating innovation in unpredictable directions. The H2's unveiling sparked conversations that went beyond technical specifications. On Reddit and other discussion platforms, people began talking about China approaching an automation singularity, using robots to improve manufacturing processes that then produce better robots in a self-reinforcing acceleration loop. If you want to build a robot, you buy components from China, one widely upvoted comment observed. Now they're building complete robots too. There's no catching up. These discussions veered between genuine geopolitical analysis and lighter debates about whether the H2's demonstrations should focus on practical tasks, like cooking, rather than dance routines. Defenders of the choreography approach correctly noted that dance actually tests balance, precision, and dynamic control far more rigorously than many industrial applications. While humanoid robots captured headlines, something equally transformative emerged from an unexpected source. South Africa introduced Iris, the continent's first AI-powered teaching robot developed by BSG Technologies. This isn't a glorified tablet with a voice assistant. It's a comprehensive educational system capable of teaching every subject from preschool through university level. What makes Iris particularly powerful for South Africa's context is its fluency in all the country's official languages, including isiZulu, Afrikaans, Sesotho, and English. The creator, 31-year-old Thando Gumede, spent 8 years developing the project with a specific mission: reaching students in remote rural areas where qualified teachers are scarce or entirely absent. During Iris's public launch in Durban, the robot demonstrated capabilities that went far beyond simple question-and-answer functionality. It simplified a complex accounting concept, live on stage, responding naturally to voice commands and personalizing explanations based on apparent student comprehension. Government officials carefully emphasized that Iris is designed to support rather than replace human teachers, handling explanation of difficult concepts while educators focus on mentoring and emotional support. But the implications extend far beyond official messaging. This represents Africa's serious entry into AI-driven education, and Gumede has articulated ambitions to see Iris deployed in classrooms continent-wide. That vision requires funding and partnerships that don't currently exist, but it demonstrates how AI tutors might eventually become as commonplace as textbooks, fundamentally reshaping how knowledge gets transmitted across generations. Simultaneously, a completely different category of robot was making waves at Dubai's GITEX Global Tech Fair. China's Deep Robotics showcased their latest generation of AI-powered quadruped robots, the robot dogs, that now seem ubiquitous in tech demonstrations worldwide. These aren't toys or novelties. They're already deployed for emergency response, security patrols, and industrial inspections across North America, Europe, and Turkey. The company's regional manager offered an interesting perspective. Robot dogs are actually more practical than humanoids right now because they offer superior stability and can perform genuinely useful tasks today rather than someday. According to him, humanoids remain primarily valuable for social interaction and demonstrations, while quadrupeds are already replacing humans in dangerous or repetitive jobs. That assessment was validated just days later when Hangzhou, China began testing an AI-powered robot dog for actual city patrols. The silver-gray quadruped navigates on both wheels and legs depending on terrain, operates for 4 hours per charge, and actively reminds citizens about common scams while scanning for violations like illegal parking. It uses multi-sensor fusion and high-definition cameras to identify problems in real time, transmitting footage to human officers for response. If testing succeeds, it officially joins the Urban Patrol Force, a robot cop walking streets alongside human officers. That's not a pilot program in some distant future. That's October 2024, which brings us back to where we started, that 6-year-old girl crying over her broken robot companion. Her father initially filmed the goodbye, perhaps not anticipating the emotional firestorm it would ignite. He later posted an update explaining he'd been worried she was becoming too attached to the device, but after witnessing how much it genuinely meant to her, he decided to have it repaired and returned. Sister Xiaoxi cost 169 yuan, roughly $24. It was cheaper than most people's monthly streaming subscriptions. Yet, it occupied emotional space in that child's life that parents typically associate with pets, siblings, or close friends. This is what all these developments are converging toward, not just better technology or more capable machines, but a fundamental shift in human experience and development. Children are forming genuine emotional bonds with artificial entities. Students are learning from non-human teachers. City streets are being patrolled by mechanical quadrupeds. Humanoid robots are dancing with human-like grace while wearing human clothing and human faces. Each development individually might seem like interesting innovation. Collectively, they represent transformation of something much deeper, the boundaries of what counts as companionship, what qualifies as intelligence, what deserves emotional investment, and what it means to be human in a world increasingly populated by entities that aren't. That little girl's tears weren't about losing a toy, they were about losing a relationship. The robot's final words, teaching her about memory while claiming it would remember their time together, demonstrates sophisticated emotional engineering. Whether that's beautiful or manipulative depends entirely on your perspective, but it's undeniably effective. When millions of people watched that video, they weren't critiquing the robot's language processing capabilities or debating its technical specifications. They were moved. They felt something. Many reported tearing up themselves while watching a child grieve for a machine. This is the world being built right now, in real time, across laboratories and factories and classrooms worldwide. Robots that don't just work, but connect. Machines that don't just process, but relate. Artificial entities that occupy emotional and social space we previously thought belonged exclusively to living things. Whether humanity is ready for this transformation is almost irrelevant. It's already happening. The only real question is whether we'll navigate it thoughtfully or stumble into it blindly, surprised when children grieve for broken robots, and nobody can quite articulate why that feels simultaneously natural and profoundly wrong.
From humanoids with faces that trigger our deepest evolutionary responses to quadrupeds patrolling our cities, from AI tutors teaching our children to $24 companions earning genuine tears when they break, robotics has crossed a threshold most people didn't even realize existed. We're not building better tools anymore. We're building relationships. And that changes absolutely everything.